So the big question is this: how do most agents who struggle to get the information that most successful agents hoard to themselves grow and prosper without this information? That's the big question, and this video cast is the answer. Welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. I'm your host, Pat Hyben. And now, for the review of the day. Got a YouTube comment from our last episode that we put up on Real Estate Rockstars Radio, which we put up all of them. Great video, liking and hitting the bell for more. Keep up the solid content from Jamie Resendez. Keep the comments coming, guys. I love them. And remember, I eat feedback for breakfast, so give me a 1-star review if you want, or a 5-star review if you want. I don't care. And the more reviews we get, the better guests we get. So please, subscribe first, and then leave us a review or wherever you're listening. All right, Rockstar Nation, we got a great guest. I got Tracy Cousineau from EXP Atlanta. She'll tell you the real name of it in a minute. She is rocking things in Atlanta, Georgia, and she is got some great stuff to share today. So I'm excited. Let's jump right into the call. Tracy, and it's Cousineau, right? Cousineau. Tracy Cousineau, welcome to Real Estate Rockstars.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Tracy, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself so they get to know you better?
Well, I've been licensed now for 20 years, and I would say I've been through several sellers markets, buyers markets, and through that goodness awful recession. So I've got some experience under my belt.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. So, Allie, I forgot to do the big profit agent, so I'm going to do that right now. So you can use that earlier part, Allie, for the Real Estate Rockstars. Hold on, Tracy. All right, Tracy, welcome to Big Profit Agents. How are you today?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you.
Tracy Cousineau is in Atlanta, Georgia, and she is crushing things. And Tracy, what is one thing that you could give to the big profit agents, one piece of advice you can give them to drastically increase their profits?
You know, the biggest thing that we learned to continue to increase every single year was the engagement, you know, building that content that continues to build rapport in your brand and just staying on that engagement piece. It's not spending more money for more leads on PPC and all that. It was really just defining the right content and really staying engaged once you produce that content.
So basically just staying focused on what you know is working and double downing and triple downing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I love that chapter in my book, chapter 5, build on it. And I believe in that. So thank you so much for your contribution to Big Profit Agents.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Allie, now we'll go back to the regular show. All right, Tracy. So let's get into some nitty gritty. So how many houses did you sell last year?
455.
Sweet. And what was your ECI on that, Tracy, your ego commission income? What was the total commissions added all together?
4.4.
4.4 mil. And what is your profit on that? What's your net profit?
I would say, and I should have looked this up, so bleh on me. I would say that our return is around, 35%.
Okay, so that's real nice. So, so you're pulling out $1.5 million for yourself, which is great. I mean, everybody would love to, first of all, break $1 million in profit and then go another $500,000 over that. That's pretty sweet. So, okay, so let's talk about your business, right? Like what percentage of that is buyers versus sellers?
Last year, we ended with 292 sellers and 63 buyers.
Man, I love that. I love those stats. I mean, those are, you're almost twice as many listings as you are buyers. So tell me, tell me first of all, like where your business is coming from. Let's just focus on the sellers, because we all know buyers are a byproduct of listings. And so, I'm sure a lot of those buyers just came from having the listings. So where are you getting all these listings from?
Again, it's creating the right content, because we can all be on lots of different sources and look at the ROI. And if we're, a lot of ours comes from radio and a lot of it comes from referrals, but we all deliver different content. So again, I think it's really dialing into your message and really knowing what to say to get your phone to ring. We are more inbound than we are outbound. And it's because we create the content, and most of our content, it's real stuff. There's stats, it's case studies. It's we're real. And so people can connect and build rapport with us, because who do people want to do business with? People they know, people they like, and people they can trust. And so we continue to build on, the houses that we sell and the true facts of it. The buyer's experience. It's not we or I. It's what we did to serve that person. How did we get them to their goal?
I love this. Okay. So, tell me exactly how, like, give me some examples of how you're doing this.
Well, for instance, we started really building on expired listings, and, you have to start somewhere. So a couple of years ago, we might've had a few a year, now we're hitting over 100, in the last 18 months, we've had 200, over 200 expired listings.
200 expired listings in the last 18 months.
That somebody failed to sell, and we were able to get to the seller's goal. So how do you build your brand? Now I have content, I have true facts, and I call it my one-page close. I can go in there and say to any expired listing, hey, I can tell why your house didn't sell. And I can really dial in and say, this is what was missing on your information on your MLS, or have you seen the photos? Let's kind of go through this, and this is how we would stage your home differently.
So tell me, so the one-page close, I like that name. Like, is it physically a page, or what?
Absolutely.
What is
Absolutely.
it?
It dials into the real true facts. 123 Main Street, previously listed for, X amount of days by X amount of brokers, and we put our marketing in place and we sold it in this amount of days. It's true stuff, and they can go look it up all over the internet and see, and it's tangible. And they're like, and so it brings clarity to that seller, is they know what they're doing. They have a proven system that is going to get my home sold, and they're in pain right now, because that pain, they're either withdrawn, they're terminated, they're expired. They're going to see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. They are going to get to Chicago, or to their next house, or to their family, wherever their goal is. And we want to get them to their goal.
So give me some specifics of what you would do, because I think a lot of skeptics out there are like, oh yeah, well, Tracy just happens to get in there at the right time, and she's good at getting them to drop the price. And everybody knows that all expired listings sell if you drop the price and put it in MLS. So tell me exactly like what you're doing besides dropping the price and putting it back in MLS, or if that's what you're doing, then just tell us.
No. So I will tell you that it's a very slim amount of them that the price was actually dropped. And so
Really?
You can look at, oh, absolutely. It's not always the price. It could be that the price might be a number that is not a third-party great number to search by. Like, for instance, 369. No, you need to be probably at 375, or maybe you need to be at 365.
Why? What's the difference, right? What's the difference between 369 and 375? What's the difference?
You're building a different client, right? So if you got approved for a certain number, most of the time the agent or the buyer is going to bring themselves to that next increment because they want some negotiation room. What is your competition at that 370 mark? And it's really dialing in to understand where that sweet spot for that house is. You're right. Anybody could go in there and reduce the price of the home and do the same marketing that the other, agent did. and the house is going to sell to somebody at some point, right? There's a buyer for every house. That's not our goal. Our goal is to maximize the return for our client. And again, it's marketing. It's how there's an ideal client for every house. And it's our job to be able to go and pinpoint who that avatar is for that home. And that's who we're target marketing. And that's how we find the people that are going to purchase that home. And a lot of times it's criteria that's missing from that listing. I listed one a couple months ago. The home had been on the market for a few months. And the home was a 2-story with a master on the main. The previous agent had been trying to sell this home as a ranch home, 2 different buyers, right? They had 75 showings. They gave me all of the feedback from their showings, 75 showings. Guess what the majority of the feedback was? I wasn't looking for this type of home.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just really dialing in and knowing what's wrong with it and what needs to be changed because it's been maybe marketed to the wrong audience, and that's how the buyer missed it. But it's maximizing that first impression, and I'm huge on making sure that we have the best first impression.
And so you go in there and you say, hey, my job is to figure out the avatar, and I'm looking at this, and the avatar is not 65-year-old couple whose kids are grown. The avatar on this is 32 years old and with 2 kids or 4 kids, and they want to get away from the noise, so they're going to put their master on the main level, and you know what I mean. And you have this discussion with them about this, right? Is that kind of what happens? Yeah.
Yep. And so I don't buy listings. I don't overprice listings. And I don't underprice listings because I wouldn't be able to put my head on a pillow at night knowing that I set a seller up for failure or I gave away their equity that they need to live off of. So, it's really not, that's just not the way that we do it. And so there's a small percent of homes that we ever go in there and make any type of changes. And those are, changes that take a little bit more time. And because somebody set them up for failure with overpricing their property, and it's having sometimes those conversations that some of us don't like to have, where you have to be bold enough to educate them to let them know if their home is overpriced for real.
What's up, brokers, team leaders, office managers, and rainmakers of teams? I got a question for you today. What are the 2 most frustrating things about running a real estate team? The 2 things that cause you more headaches than anything else. Think about it. The brokers I've talked to have all given me the same answer: recruiting and retention. If you're in the same boat, if nothing you've tried seems to work, I've got some good news. Your problem finding, recruiting, and retaining high-quality agents are about to be over. I'm launching my new Retoot course, a course that provides an in-depth, first-ever look at the recruiting and retention secrets of the industry's top recruiters. To kick off Retoot's launch, I'm offering the course along with 2 other high-value items at a super low price to podcast listeners. Since I'm throwing in 2 free items with my Retoot Secrets course, I'm going to simply call it my 1, 2, 3 discount package. Okay, so let me talk to you about the 1, 2, 3 discount package. In addition to Retoot, you're going to get a subscription for each of your teammates or anybody in your office to my Big Profit weekly jackpot emails, which are basically agents from around the world giving advice on how to increase your profit on a daily basis in this business. If your agents put these effective, easy to implement tips to use, their sales and most importantly, their profits will improve. Plus, I'll provide you with a year's worth of monthly sales meetings, content to have at your sales meeting so you don't have to struggle figuring out what to say to your agents or your team. I'm calling it my Lunch and Learn sales training series. That's an entire year's worth of sales meetings that you won't have to plan and that your agents are guaranteed to get massive value from. So to recap, purchasing the 123 discount package gets you 1, my brand new Retoot course. 2, my Big Profit Agents weekly jackpot emails for everybody in your office. And 3, a year's worth of lunch and learn training sessions. If you want this limited time package, act fast and go to hibandigital.com/123. Real easy, hibandigital.com/123. So let's go back to this example because I love this. So like what would you do or what did you do to make this more attractive to this new avatar, this 32-year-old couple rather than the 65-year-old couple? What did you do to change it so that it sold?
For that one, it was pretty easy. I just changed the way that the home was. It was clearly a traditional home, not a ranch home. I began marketing it to the right family who wanted a master on the main and wanted their children upstairs and wanted a finished basement. So, it was really in just taking better photos for the most part and not missing the criteria that was needed for that home. It went under contract the first week. I mean, it wasn't.
And what is in Tupelo, Mississippi, I got a guy listening to this, and he's a photographer for agents, right? And he wants to know what your definition of better photos is. Is it just the quality of the camera? Is he lying on the ground looking up? Give me some specifics there.
So I personally don't care for the photos laying on the ground at all. But what I do care is if I have a keeping room, I don't need 4 photos to enhance the keeping room. I don't need
what's a keeping room?
So a keeping room would be like the extra area off the breakfast room. So they're real huge in Atlanta. So you would have your family room, your great room, and then you would have this extended keeping room that runs off of your kitchen, because the kitchen's the new living room, so we have to make it bigger. So you'd have your kitchen, your breakfast room, and then you would have a keeping room.
And would you keep shit in there? Why'd they call it
keep yourself in there? So you would have I have a keeping room, and if I could focus and turn my computer, you'd be able to see it. So it's got a fireplace. I've got a fireplace in my keeping room, but I'm in my breakfast room, but I can.
It's just okay. So anyways, okay. So anyway, so you don't want four photos of the pantry or 4 photos of an office. Let's say of an office, right?
Right.
Office.
Right. You should have quality photos that one lens captures that full room. And I always say people that take photos of people are not the same people that take photos of real estate. Completely different. And, you have to have the right angles. You have to know where to stand in a room and then what photos not to use on your MLS. They're the ones like pantry. There's no reason why your pantry inside photos should be on there, or your master closet. I don't care to see stinky shoes and jeans and color-coded or not color-coded clothes. And I would believe that the general public doesn't either, unless your closet is a wow. If you walk in there and you're like, oh my gosh, I could live in my closet. There's no reason to put that on there. You want to sell the main features of the property, and you have to make sure that those are what you're selling.
I love it. Okay, so let's move on. So first of all, that's amazing. I want to find out the marketing that you have in place. Again, we got an agent, right? He's in Tupelo, and he's like, okay, I've never sold an expired in my life, but I want to sell one, and then I want to sell a second, and then I want to go all the way up to 200, like Tracy. Give me a 5-step process on how this person, this agent, how she can do this.
First, it's how many people are calling Red X leads every morning? How many agents are being trained on the same scripts? And that's really, if you step back to move forward, I step back in lots of different shoes and think, how could I approach this differently, right? I'm not going to be, I am the eagle that wakes up early, that wants to get, the early bird gets the worm. However, I'm not calling sellers to upset them. They're already upset. that 100 other people already called them, right? So you really have to think in your market, what is the best way to get to that seller versus upsetting them with one more phone call with the same script that is being given by coaches across the country, and really dialing into a different method, you know?
So you studied the Ferry family scripts and Diana Kokoska's scripts and all those scripts that agents everywhere are using, and you put a big red Sharpie mark through them, and you said, I'm going to do something different because chances are that they've already picked up the phone and they've heard a version of a 1972 script that originated somewhere that was that's the same script that everyone's been using for years,
Yeah.
and everybody's teaching. So what is your script?
So my script is not calling them. My script is dialing in to why their home didn't sell and sending them some educational content of why I believe their home didn't sell.
Sending them some, so you don't even script, you don't even call them.
No.
So you zig when they zag. So you're saying, okay. So what do you send them?
So I just look at what, I look at it as just like the home with the 2-story that was, in the MLS for so long as a ranch. I'm going to write a note to the seller and I'm going to explain to them some of the content that was wrong with their listing, but I'm going to really dial in on what marketing we can do to help them get to their goal, and it's really just sincerely wanting for them to get to their goal in selling their home. It's not a bunch of BS I'm sending them, but I'm sending them also, along with that content, I'm sending them reviews. I'm sending them, how we're different from, a traditional agent and how we do things differently. We have a solid foundation, and the systems that we have behind the people that we have in the company all have specific tasks and specific jobs that they do that's going to get them from point A to point Z.
Wow. So you'll actually sit down and print out their expired listing. Then you'll take a Sharpie or what, tell me exactly what you do. Like, and
well, I can't give it all away, but I can give it all away. Come on.
So I just see you sitting there going through each one, right? Taking time out for each one and then passing it off to an assistant, maybe that licks the envelope and puts a stamp on and sends it with a note from you. And then, you do tons of these every day.
Absolutely. I look at it as it's not just the seller that didn't get to their goal, but there's a buyer for that home. And how many people do we touch per transaction that we sell, right? So how many listings in moving right now and shifting into that buyer's market, there's a lot more homes that are expiring on a monthly basis. And so, it's not just running to the bank with a commission. That's just not where my mindset is. And, there was a seller that was failed. There's a buyer that was looking for that home, but there's also the handyman, the inspector, the closing attorney, the lender, all of their admin. So many people feed from one transaction. And when one transaction doesn't close, it becomes a turning event of how many people lost out on being able to feed their family or giving back to the community.
Wow. That's intense. I mean, that's really cool. And then again, you kind of you make them part of your team, huh? And you're
Absolutely.
like, hey, we're going to fix this together.
Yep.
We're going to do this. I'm going to do this with my team. This is Charlie. He's going to come in. He's going to fix this hanging room.
Right.
Whatever. All right, cool. All right. So what else? What else are you doing besides expired listings to get business?
We do radio, TV. We do walk through, lifestyle videos to really enhance the listings and really engage with the avatar that's watching the videos. I have severe ADHD, and so between Jason and I, we're always trying to build on what we already have, and we're always growing. You'll always find us at the next upcoming event, and we're always we're always trying to grow our minds. We're always educating ourselves so that not only can we educate ourselves, but we can the consumer, but we can also be always a step ahead of real estate. And so we don't necessarily play in the only sandbox of real estate events. You know, we mastermind in other sandboxes to really network and take what other people are doing in their business and other industries and bring it into real estate.
That's awesome. So what do you like to go to? Like what events? Like if someone's listening, they're like, hey, I've never been to any events. Which one should I start attending? You know, let's assume they don't have a company event, right? Because first and foremost, go to your company event, but then after that, where would you say?
So my biggest thing right now is learning all of this ClickFunnels stuff, you know, building these funnels, because I really wholeheartedly believe that we are going to pull more people into our funnels than we are our websites. I think that we have created websites that we're making it harder for people to engage with us and connect with us because they've got to register here, or, you know, we block them out of a house, you know, a listing on our website until they register and all of that. But they really can't identify our real us and build rapport with us, where in a funnel you can really add more content and videos and really break it down to their specifics. I've really been spending time trying to really learn the funnels.
That's awesome. Then did you go to the ClickFunnels event that just happened in Nashville? Were you at that?
I missed it. However, I am working on the challenge. But, you know, I was at TNC, so I did go to traffic and conversion, and they just they were back to back, and having a family, you have to pick which one.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, they're competitors. It's the same thing, but
Yeah.
not the same thing, but similar. But yeah, no, that's great. I went to the one the year before, and I think real estate commissions. I think it's a great, you know, I went because I was selling my courses through Rebus University, and I built funnels for them, and they do work. I do think that the bigger the product, the better. So a real estate commission is certainly a much bigger product. So I can see how that could work. But it takes expertise, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of smiling and videos and creation and stuff like that. But you probably like that stuff, so that's great. You know, it works out well.
I used to not. You know, I had a fear of public speaking and getting in front of a video, and thank goodness for Tony Robbins and his Unleash the Power Within, because he sure unleashed it. So introvert to a high D now, and you know, I'm raising my hand to speak on stages. I'm raising my hand to provide more content and knowledge. And, you know, looking, you know, just in the last couple months, it's what is the goal, you know, and providing the right content and being able to take the time to build these funnels and stuff. I had to figure out what could we take off our plate. And that was why we, you know, made that choice to move over from owning our own Inc. 500 company. There wasn't a problem with the brokerage or failure in the brokerage. Our numbers are our numbers. It was, we wanted to be able to spend more time working on stuff to move forward than worrying about other stuff of running a brokerage, you know, compliance and that kind of stuff. So I look forward to really being able to dive into more content building.
So you had your own company. How long did you have your own company?
We opened June of 2014.
So about 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you just switched.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. All right. All right. So let's talk technology. What are you using for technology? What's exciting that we can start using ourselves?
You know, when it comes to, I like easy stuff that I can navigate through pretty quickly. And so, you know, if it's an app on my phone, that works really well for me because I can get the content out. And, you know, if I'm listening to a podcast or something resonates, or I'm driving down the road with my ADHD and my mind is circulating and all this stuff, and I want to provide some content to engage with and help people understand something, the tools are right in my phone for the most part. So whether I'm using Canva or I'm using Photoshop or I'm using Snapchat or, you know, just a video that I can do from iMovie, you can do it all from your phone. I mean, you can make an awesome video, and you have to engage. And so it's not so much the technology of platforms anymore. I really think that we have social media at our tips, and that's where most consumers are going to find them. You're going to find them. You know, they do use Google and they do search by the internet for specific stuff that they're looking for. But again, I think that, you know, Gary Vee is right. You know, you have to be up front and center, and you have to create your own channel, you know, your own engagement of content that people are going to continue to see and engage with. And remember that, you know, and how do you get first to mind? And it's not just being on a platform on the internet, it's being always providing that content to them.
I want you to think about the word toolbox. What is a toolbox? A toolbox is a box full of tools that you use to build something great. At Real Estate Rockstars, we've created our own free toolbox. So everybody that comes on the show as a guest brings a tool with them, and we plow them all into this toolbox, and we give it away for our viewing audience to basically use as they wish. Everything we put in there is an actionable item that can be downloaded, can be printed, can be used immediately. And we got things like scripts and dialogues, checklists for teams, checklists to keep agents accountable, referral forms that are filled out at settlement to get referrals by your buyers and sellers. Everything you can think of that you could use on a regular basis about real estate is included in this toolbox, and it's helping agents worldwide sell more houses and make their jobs a lot easier and processes much more efficient. And the thing is, it's absolutely free. All you got to do is go to hibandigital.com/toolbox or text the word toolbox to 444-999. That's toolbox 444-999. Do it now. Hey, real estate agents and rock stars. If you're getting value out of the content in this episode, make sure you like the video and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the little bell icon to be notified about upcoming episodes. And I would also love it if you left a comment and shared the most impactful tips and tactics you've learned from the knowledge shared in this episode, or even maybe make a suggestion requesting a topic of what you'd like to learn in future episodes. I welcome any feedback below. Now, back to the episode. That's awesome. Okay, so and yesterday you and I chatted for a little bit, and I thought you were on a train, but you weren't. Tell me about that. Yeah.
I was in my mobile office, and so about 2 years ago, you know, time management, right? I'm like, gosh, I have anxiety between being on these metro Atlanta roads and road rage and traffic. And, you know, I would get home, or I'd spend, I'd be at the office till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd go home, I'd take an hour nap, and I would get up and do it all over again. And I was burnt out. I was exhausted. And I knew that there was a better way. And so I would just search periodically for, a mobile office. And I never pulled the trigger until hands-free hit Atlanta this past summer. And I couldn't pick up my phone to call anybody. And I didn't have CarPlay in my car.
You mean a law said you're not allowed to talk on the phone anymore.
Right.
You have to go hands-free. Okay.
Yep. So I'm driving a 2016 that didn't have CarPlay. Siri and I don't connect very well because she doesn't listen very well to me. She doesn't understand my slang here and there. So it was very like, and I needed to go back to time management. And so I was on the road between one appointment from A to B for 3 hours sitting in traffic, and it was not fun. And so I dialed in and found the right mobile office. And Jason went to Boston in like 2 days. It was great. And then we hired a driver, and it's been that way ever since. I think I forgot how to drive because now I can get in more appointments. I can get more work done between appointments, and it just makes so much sense and has made my life so much easier.
What kind of car is it?
It is a Mercedes Sprinter.
What's that? Is that like a van or something?
It is a it's like a limo van. So it's got, TVs in it so my buyers can ride with me. We can look for homes, together. We can go look at homes. We can write the offer, while they're in the car with me before we even, drop them off at home. And then between my listing appointments, I can get to more listing appointments now and also market and create content or negotiate offers in 10 times the scale I was doing it before.
Yeah, and I guess, so do you even need what's in there? Like, what technology's in there? Or do you even need any technology other than Wi-Fi?
Well, I have my computer, of course, Wi-Fi, I'll bring, if I need to record that day, then I have my whole entire setup, where I can plug it into it. I have, TVs. We got tailgating in case we want to go network and tailgate at a Georgia game. But
what do you mean you got what does that mean?
So the back end of the mobile office has another set of doors, and then there's a big TV on the inside of that with its own system and direct TV that you can have your own.
You can watch TV from outside.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. And then you guys sit around. There's comfortable chairs. Buyers, sellers, whatever can sit around. Air conditioning, Wi-Fi, sign offers on pads or whatever with their fingers. Do whatever, right? Everything's right there. What's something like that cost?
To custom build one of these things, you're looking probably around $200,000.
No kidding. Wow. So tell me about that. So how has that paid off for you? Was that a good investment?
Oh yeah, 10 times. Just absolutely. What is a listing agent's number one return of investment? And it's being face to face with a seller.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And so how many listing appointments are you able to do on a good day?
5, 6.
Really? 5 or 6? And you're just jumping back in, getting re-energized. I'm sure you got a refrigerator in there, coffee, whatever, right?
Yep,
food,
absolutely.
snacks,
Yep.
everything.
Yep.
Take me to tell the driver, take me to this one, or he probably already knows. He or she probably already knows. Take you there. You're fresh. Boom. Get another one. Boom. Get another one. Brush your teeth. Go to the next one.
Take a nap. Yep.
Take a nap.
An hour, I need a 45-minute nap. She'll give me a 5-minute window, and I'm back at it.
Do you have a record? Like, do you have like that day, right? That day where you did 12 appointments or anything like that?
So how about this? How about the first time that I got in the mobile office for a full day, 2 days after it arrived in Atlanta, I put $2.2 million worth of real estate on the market.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
was a good day. That was a Saturday. That was a good day.
Yeah. $2.2 million worth of real estate. What's your average sale price?
About 360, 350.
So 7, 8 houses, in 2 days, right there, you probably, you're like, wow, that's a hell of a return for 2 days for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Well, I love that. I appreciate you sharing that. Man, well, we could talk forever, Tracy. This is a really, really, really good stuff. I want to finish up a couple of things. I want to ask you about your free gift, but I am going to finish this with our flagship question so you can help out those out there. If you have to give advice to a brand new agent, if Tracy was on a deserted island, not a desert island, she was on an island, there was a lot of people, there was a lot of commerce. And I took 9 other agents that were on the same island, and you guys didn't have anything but $1,000, a laptop, computer, and a cell phone. Okay. And all of you knew nobody. And I'm going to add a twist to this. There's no expired listings because I know what you would do with expired listings. So there's no expired listings. And you have to compete against these 9 agents, and you have to beat them. And whoever sells the most amount of houses in 6 months gets $5 million. How are you going to beat out the 9 other agents with that $1,000, a laptop, computer, and a cell phone? How are you going to sell more houses than those 9?
So first, I would have to step back and look at how would $5 million change my life, right? because we have to have a goal. So why I'm very competitive, right? So I already know that I need to have motivation for my competition, right? So what am I going to spend that $5 million on? Am I going to give it back to the community? Are people holding me accountable for moving them in a better direction, right? So I go by my heart. And I build rapport with the community because I'm going to engage, and I'm going to build that rapport because of who I am and the passion that I have for that community to sell their homes, right? And I'm going to create my content around the purpose of why I'm in this deserted area and how I'm going to help this area. And so it's not, I do have the systems and I do have the marketing, and I'm very confident on what I do. I am my hardest competition. If somebody asks me, hey, Tracy, who's your biggest competitor? I am my biggest competitor. I make it tougher on myself every day because I want to stretch myself further. So I believe that I could go anywhere with the right mindset and the right heart and always provide to outwin the competition, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So you're not even worried about like what you're going to do. You're worried more about why you're going to do it. And so you would just focus on what you're going to do with that 5 million, how many people you're going to be able to affect, and how many lives you're going to be able to change, including yours. And then you would just throw yourself out into the universe and let the chips fall where they may.
Absolutely. The universe is one big catalog.
Aha, I love it. All right. So what's your free gift today?
So my free gift is I really went back, and this was kind of a minute struggle. I wanted to provide value, but I also wanted to provide maybe what I was doing wrong before and things that I had to look at to be able to move to the next level. And so, we all know that real estate, there's a lot of ego in real estate, right? Everybody wants their photo on a sign and, on a billboard and all this kind of stuff. And so I think when you step back and really look at how are you delivering yourself, if you go back and look at your content that you produce, is it like used car salesmen with all their plaques inside their office when you walk in there? People don't want to see that. They want to see you and how you're serving others. And so by giving what my free gift is really clean up your content. How do you look? Would you hire you? If you go back and look at your content, would you hire you? Because today's society, they are going to your content and they are stalking you before they call you. And so would you work for you? And that's, would you hire yourself? And so you have to really go back and clean it up and make sure that you're delivering the message that you really want to deliver out there.
Okay, awesome. And is there something you could give us, like a PDF that people can download and look at that kind of shows who Tracy is, to give us an idea what you're talking about?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, I'm going to put that, so here's the thing. I'm going to put that on hibandigital.com/Tracy, and it's COUSIN. It's like cousin, and then it's EAU. So
because I'm going to sell your house.
So Tracy Cousin EAU, hibandigital.com/Tracy Cousineau, and and I'm also going to put her free gift in the Agent Success Toolbox, which can be found on hibandigital.com/toolbox, or texting the word toolbox to 444-999. Tracy, this has been a blast. If I'm ever in Atlanta, Georgia, I will definitely look you up and we can break some bread.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. Thanks for having me.
Rockstar Nation, thank you for listening to Real Estate Rockstars. Listen, I need a favor. If you find this free content helpful, if you find our downloadable items from each guest helpful, please, I need you to pull out your pointing finger. Yes, the one finger that points at people, and hit subscribe. Yes, subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the better we look in the ratings, and the easier it is to get guests like Robert Kiyosaki, Barbara Corcoran, all the players that are on $1 million listing in the different cities. All that stuff makes it easier the more subscribers we get. So please subscribe. And listen, there's a lot of places you can leave comments. There's a lot of places you can like. We're on Facebook. We have an Instagram page. Instagram page is I am Pat Hyben. The Facebook is Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Feel free to leave us comments there. The most popular form of commenting seems to happen on YouTube. Yes, for whatever reason, it's a very open environment. So just go to YouTube and go to Real Estate Rockstars Radio. Leave us comments there. Some of them we will read on the show. We love your feedback. So thanks, guys, and I hope you are having a great day. Oh, and also, listen, if you're going to subscribe and you haven't already left a review on iTunes, please do that too. Have a great day, and thanks so much, Rockstar Nation. I really appreciate you.